After Tina Turner died, the people who handled her estate found something in her private study in Küsnacht, Switzerland. A sealed envelope, handwritten, addressed to Craig Raymond Turner. Craig had been dead for 5 years. The envelope had never been sent, and the postmark on the outside showed the date it had been written. 1993. 30 years before anyone found it. To understand that envelope, you have to understand what 1993 was for Tina Turner. On the surface, it was the year of the biopic. What's Love Got to Do with It was released in June. Angela Bassett's portrayal exposed the years with Ike Turner to the largest audience that story had ever reached. The film was important, necessary, the kind of truth-telling that costs more than people who watch it from the outside understand. What the film also did, what Tina had not fully anticipated, was reopen something between her and Craig. Craig Raymond Turner was 24 years old in 1993. He had grown up inside the years the film depicted, not as a witness, as a child living inside them. The relationship between Tina Turner and her son Craig was one of the most private things in her life. She spoke about it rarely. When she did, she chose her words with the care of someone who understood that the words belonged to both of them and that only half of them were hers to speak. What is known is this. Craig had lived through the Ike years as a small boy. He had grown up in the aftermath of them. He had watched his mother rebuild everything from 36 cents and a mobile credit card into 4 Grammy Awards and 12 million albums and sold-out arenas on 3 continents. And somewhere in all of that, in the rebuilding and the touring and the interviews and the careful, composed answers, there were things that a mother and a son had not said to each other. In the summer of 1993, after the biopic was released and the promotional tour was underway, and every interviewer in the world was asking Tina Turner to revisit rooms she had spent 17 years building walls around, in that summer, something between Tina and Craig became strained in a way that had not been strained before. Not broken, strained. The specific tension that develops between people who love each other and have been through something together and are watching that something be witnessed by the entire world from the outside. Tina Turner sat down one evening and wrote a letter to her son. She has described the act of writing it, not the contents, never the contents, in a single brief reference in her memoir. She wrote that she wrote it because there were things she needed to say that she did not yet know how to say in person. That the page was easier than the room. That she wrote until she had said everything. And then she sealed the envelope, addressed it to Craig, and did not send it. She has not explained why she didn't send it. The memoir reference does not explain it. The people close to her during that period have not explained it. What is possible, what the people who knew her best have suggested, carefully, without claiming to know, is that the letter was written for herself as much as for Craig, that the act of writing it was the thing she needed, that sending it was a different question entirely. The relationship between Tina and Craig continued. It had its difficulties, and its distances, and its repairs, as relationships between parents and children who have been through extraordinary things together often do. Craig Raymond Turner died on July 3, 2018. He was 49 years old. He took his own life at his home in Studio City, California. Tina Turner was 78 years old. She was in Switzerland. She received the call. She did not speak publicly about Craig's death for a long time. When she did, she said what she was able to say, that she loved him, that she missed him. That grief of this kind, the grief of a parent for a child, is the grief that has no shape that language can hold. The sealed envelope stayed in the private study in Küsnacht. For 30 years it had been there. Through the Grammy Awards and the world tours and the stroke and the cancer and the kidney transplant and the quiet final years on the lake. It was there the whole time. When Tina Turner died on May 24, 2023, the people who handled her estate found the envelope in the study. They recognized the handwriting. They saw Craig's name. They saw the date. 1993. The contents of the letter have never been made public. They will not be made public. They belong to Craig, and to his mother, and to the 30 years of mornings in Küsnacht when the envelope sat in a drawer and Tina Turner knew it was there. There is a version of Tina Turner's story that is told in Grammy Awards and attendance records and the cover of Rolling Stone. That version is true. There is another version, the version that lives in sealed envelopes in private studies and the things a mother writes to a son when she does not yet know how to say them in person. That version is also true. And it is more true, perhaps, than anything a stage could hold. If this story moved you, if you have ever written something you were not yet ready to send, subscribe and share this video. Leave a comment. Tell us about the letter you wrote, or the one you wish you had. We read every one.